Hey everyone, it's Naomi Snieckus, and welcome to the Firecracker department. Well, what did you do this week? What's going on? Did you see a play? Did you listen to some music? Did you write? Did you go for a walk? Did you make a cake? What did you do? Tell me what's up. What did I do? Thanks for asking. Well, I sat in a hotel room in Halifax. Halifax is where we shoot Mr. D, and it's a lovely hotel, but I'll tell you this, no matter how lovely the hotel is, if you spend 2 or 3 days in the hotel, just ordering room service or going out and bringing food in, you start to think, oh no, am I a shut-in or am I running from the law? And I am neither one of those things, so I thought I better get out of this hotel and go and do something creative. The computer's always there to write, but gosh, sometimes I just don't want to look at the computer. Do you ever get that way? I just want to be away. I want to shut her down and do something that's creative, physically. That's why I love going out to our cabin so much, because, the computer doesn't come out. You chop wood or you plant a garden and it feels so great. What I did in Halifax was I went out and bought some cheap paints and canvas and I taught myself how to paint. Now, this isn't the kind of painting that you would want to really show anyone. And if somebody saw it, they'd be like, oh, what are you working through? Or are you in therapy? Is this some sort of therapy? Or is it a cry for help? But what I did was I painted it with the idea that I give it to my husband. And my husband, I guess, doesn't really know art. So he loved it. But it was really fun to do. I took a little online course about perspective, and I did something that I'm not ashamed of. I could put this up. It's something, as Matt would say. So what do you do when you feel like you're in a rut or you're in a bit of a funk? What do you do that gets you out of it? I think that tool is really important. Do you grab some paints and paint? Do you go for a walk? Do you pick up a guitar? What do you do? I would love to hear people's answers. Hashtag when in a funk? Yeah, let's do that one. Hashtag when in a funk. Because I think sometimes it just needs to unlock something that unlocks the next thing and it gets you out of there. I always say to folks that are struggling, I said, if you're ever in a funk, organize a charity or do something nice for somebody else. Get yourself out of your own head. Not always easy, but if you can, it works. And actually, we spoke about this with my next guest, Melanie Scrofano. We talked about learning other skills, taking classes, taking courses. I just loved speaking with her. Well, you're going to listen to this, but I loved everything about this. She came in with this baby, and then we just had a great chat. And I know her a little bit. We did a film together called Happily Ever After that Joan Carr-Wiggins directed. And so I knew her a little bit from our scenes together. But it was so lovely to get to know her better. And she's such an authentic and funny and just a vibrant gal. I really, really fell in love with her. So I know you will too. Here she is, Melanie Scrofano. You. Now, we have, just saying the luxury of this recording. Jeff, have a seat. Yeah. So you walked in here with a baby just to catch up these listeners. And I'm like, whose baby is this? Oh, that's weird to take somebody's baby around when you just come from your lawyers. So honestly, this is blowing my mind. I feel like you bought this baby.
It's my favorite thing that's happened in a long time.
Yeah. So I prepare a little bit because I don't want to be one of those people that go, I haven't seen your things and you're sitting here. But I'm looking at your resume with designated survivor and Wynonna and then a baby?
Yeah.
How the F do you do that?
Well, the secret is you just don't tell anybody that you're pregnant. And you're
nobody knows.
No, and then you're like, you don't get to know because you might fire me. So
right, and are people oh, stay off the cheese tray? Hey, Scrofano, stay away from the snacks.
Yeah.
Did you tell anybody on set?
I didn't tell anybody. Oh, so on Designated Survivor, I didn't tell anybody.
Right.
Because I didn't know them, so I was like, I don't want to get fired for using my body the way nature intended.
Right.
You know? So then, but then with Wynonna, I sort of had to.
Yeah.
And
but did everybody know on Wynonna?
Nobody.
But also, you're doing like physical, like.
I know. Nobody knew except for the people who had to know. And,
that was me. Hey, buddy. Hey, little one. Oh my gosh. Look at your face.
He has cradle cap and dandruff on his face.
You know what? So do I some mornings.
You know what I mean?
But that's because I sleep in a nightcap. No, I don't. So Wynonna people knew.
So only it was on a need to know basis.
Yes.
It was and remains until it airs. Complete secret, lockdown. Like I wasn't allowed to do anything else because they didn't want anybody to know.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were so supportive and like. Sorry, he stares.
It's hard
Is it
to
weird?
like. I'm totally mesmerized by your baby. Also, I'm so sorry he doesn't look like you at all, Jeff.
Hey.
No, he looks exactly like you. If he has a beard,
okay, good.
I think he looks exactly like you.
I like that. Thank you.
Yeah.
You see the teddy bear hat he's wearing?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
A grizzly bear, but yes.
Oh right.
Eventually.
He'll eventually become a grizzly bear.
See how he talks to me?
Yeah.
Like he just had to. He just had to correct that.
That's okay. You guys have been together for how long?
Since high school.
Yeah.
18,
So
18.
yeah. So 18, 19 years. You guys know each other well enough to speak like that and be like, oh, that's water off my back.
Yeah. Except it's not. I'm gonna hold on.
No,
to that.
this is a big deal.
I'm gonna hold on to that. We'll talk about it later.
This is actually like podcast / therapy. Let's really get into this. I love that when you're like, oh, that's fine, and you laugh about something your partner says, and then later you're like, can we talk about that? Because it wasn't as funny as I implied. Yeah. All right, so Designated Survivor, they have you in like gorgeous like gowns too, right?
Yeah.
So
they didn't fit very well.
I guess not.
No,
like day to day, you might be like, take it out a little bit.
I literally had to be like, I gave them bigger sizes, and then they were like, okay, this is pretty big on you, so let's take it in. And I'm like, nope, you can't do that. And I just had to be like, no, because I don't feel comfortable in body hugging. I don't know. I made something up.
Yeah.
And then and it never played. I think they just thought I had a bit of a tummy
belly
issue.
Yeah.
And they shot around it.
Yeah.
Whatever.
And so then with Wynonna, how did that schedule work? Because you were doing Wynonna, because that's a long shoot too,
it's a long
right?
shoot. We started. I was 5 months pregnant when we started,
oh my God.
and we had to hide it. And
a lot of laundry baskets?
No, none.
How could you Wynonna?
Yeah, exactly. No, it was a lot of just strategic posture.
Yeah.
So like I would just, there's certain scenes where I can actually see myself trying to like suck it in.
Yeah.
I had Spanx, believe it or not. Like you can.
Oh, baby Spanx? Like
you can shove a baby back into your body.
What?
With the right set of Spanx.
Good to know.
And then
ladies having babies in Walmart. Good to know.
Yeah. Also, I did check with my doctor. She said Spanx are okay.
Oh, interesting.
So please don't judge.
Yeah.
But I shoved it right back in, and then that's a big yawn.
Oh my God, fantastic.
It's distracting to everyone.
How old is Teddy?
He's 2 months.
Amazing.
Yeah. So it was just a lot of hiding stuff, and then thank God they wrote it in, and it was the most beautiful. Like I can't wait for it to air. It's the most beautiful storyline, and it is something that Wynonna would do. Like she would mess up.
Yeah.
That big.
Yeah.
Like
she's a flawed character.
She's a flawed character. She uses sex as therapy.
Yeah.
And so how would she not get pregnant?
Right.
Right. So I thought it was really brave of them to write it in.
Yeah.
And also I've never seen a pregnant superhero in my life.
No.
So
can you imagine like the Wonder Woman sequel when she's like knocked up?
Well,
great.
I mean,
awesome.
No, you're like a version of Wonder Woman in this sense too. Like you're such a powerful role model for people, and to have that as well, like shit happens. So.
That's pretty much the tagline for this season,
right?
But like, actually, it is.
Really?
Yeah.
Hilarious.
So, well, among us, anyway.
So, does he make an appearance then? Does she? Do you birth your baby on?
I cannot say.
Oh, not even in July. You can't say.
No, I can't say.
Do you?
And is it a baby?
Oh, right.
Right.
God, this is great.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, right? Because how did you conceive that?
Yeah.
Is it going to come out in flames?
And whose is it?
Right.
Because
oh my God.
Wynonna's not monogamous. I love that you just mimed flames coming out of your vagina.
That's what I imagine the birthing scene to be like.
Oh,
and then some sort of like red-eyed child coming out.
Yeah, well, who knows?
The special effects are great in that show.
Oh, good.
Yeah. How's that for you acting-wise in special effects world? Do you find that difficult?
Yeah, it's pain in the butt.
Yeah.
Because you have, well, and especially you don't know what you're reacting to.
Yeah.
So you're like, ooh, like you don't know if it's too big or too small.
Yeah.
You know, and last season we had to react to like a huge earthquake / tentacle thing, and I was like, I don't see any. You know, the earth isn't moving.
Right.
The I don't hear.
Right.
So they're like, okay, just pretend you hear more stuff, and I'm like, what kind of?
It's like the theater acting when you're like on a train. You're like, go, boop, boop, boop,
yes. No, exactly. We had to like, I had to like do the
yeah.
But and say my lines and like, is this too
yeah.
or is not enough? It was really a challenge, but really fun.
I'm like totally blown away by your life right now. With what are you blown away with your life?
I haven't slept in 2 months, so I can't be.
You
I
don't really
know
know
what's happening.
You came from your lawyers. First of all, that blows me away that you're so grown up. You have a lawyer.
No, because Jeff was like, "What if we die?" And I'm like,
"Oh, you got your will thing going." Oh, that's
well, we
smart.
didn't. She's like, "You're woefully unprepared for this meeting," and we're like, "Yep." So charge it to Visa.
Yeah, because I think so. Sorry.
Yeah.
We got our will, and we actually got somebody in the comedy bar to sign as a what's it called, like a witness it. Yeah.
Yeah, we did that wrong too.
Yeah.
We witnessed ourselves and then we're like, and she's like, you can't do that. Like, you have to do that here.
Do you have any kind of stipulations in your will of like, I mean, it's right because you have children, but do you have anything like this goes to Teddy and this goes to like my mom or anything like that? Or is it just like a blanket statement?
We don't even know yet. Because
okay, you got some.
We
More
literally.
More like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if one of you dies first, then this is a great thing to talk about because it's so joyful. But if one of dies first, goes the other way and vice versa. But if you die at the same time,
it goes to the kids.
The kids. And
but can I tell you the most fucked up part?
Yeah, you can say that.
Okay.
Fart up time?
Farted up part is
Enjoy.
I was listening to My Favorite Murder before I went to the lawyers.
Yeah? Is that a podcast?
Yeah,
My Favorite Murder?
Yeah.
I love mystery podcasts.
Oh, it's messed up.
Okay.
And I was like, then I just got really paranoid because I'm like, he's gonna kill me for the insurance.
And that's possible. Look at him.
Never know.
He's really
the grizzly bear hat guy.
I love when our brains turn like that of like, anything could happen.
No,
and then Teddy starts
asking,
looking at you weird.
Yeah.
And
No, but and then the lawyer was like, so if you die, you want Jeff to get everything? And I'm like, no.
Maybe. Can we talk about this another time?
Yeah. Wink, wink. Because I was like, now he's hearing me say, yes, he can have everything. And then I'm like, well, now he's going to kill me for it.
You need to get some sleep.
I know.
Yeah.
I need to stop watching Dateline is what I need to stop doing.
Yes, that's step one. But 19 years later, I think you guys are okay. Yeah. You're solid. You know.
No, that's when it starts unraveling.
Oh, the old 19-year itch.
The old 19-year murder.
Right. It starts as a 7-year itch and 19 years as a murder.
It's like full on scratch.
Matt and I had the only stipulation in our will was that when one of us dies, we want to be cremated and then put those ashes aside, and then when the other person dies, we want to put all the ashes together.
Oh, like
and
intermingle the ashes?
Nice.
Yeah, and then like put them into nature somewhere.
Beautiful.
That's really nice.
But not in a toilet, we had to say.
You literally had to say that.
And I think he put that in for his brother, who might just go, F it, just put it in the toilet.
Yeah.
But then what happens if one of us dies and the other one remarries?
Right?
Exactly.
There's lots to think about.
You have to add things. Yeah.
See, this is why we put it off for so long. And then the other thing that was crazy, you're sitting there and you're having these conversations for the first time, like that conversation, the cremation one.
I know.
Jeff was like, I was like, I don't want to be cremated. And he's like, oh, I want to be cremated. And he looks at me, he's like, do you know how much a casket is?
Right.
And I'm like, oh my God, I'm not worth the pine casket. And then we have to talk about what happens if you, like, if you're sick. And she gave us, like, a menu of options.
What?
Yeah. It's like option A, B, C, D, or E.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
Like pulling the plug kind of stuff?
Yeah. And literally, I was like, well, I need to think about this. Like, I need a moment.
And just like, A.
He literally was like, I like option A. Like, it was a combo meal.
Well,
you've been thinking about
practical,
this.
Yeah.
She's been busy, and you've been thinking about this. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
It just really brings out the differences between two people.
I don't want to pay for a casket. I don't want Matt to waste money on a casket.
There we
I
are.
don't. Like, I don't want...
You guys should marry each other.
Yeah. No, you guys, it's working for you guys. But I don't want to be like, they are expensive. I just want to keep it simple. And if you're going to spend money, spend it on, like, a party. Don't spend it on, like... Because you can get, like, a cardboard box. Cremate into earth, buy some booze, and have a good time.
Do you know in Vancouver, there's this place where they bury your body in trees?
You like that, too.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Well,
Like, they put it
hole.
into the soil, and they
Right.
sort of mix it, and then they put the tree into it, and it grows out of it. So it sort of becomes your tree. Which is good and bad, because, A... what happens if someone like chomps it down? You're like dead a second time.
Yeah.
And be like, what happens if like it gets an infestation or something? Oh.
It's like there's so many like VD jokes to be made.
I know, right?
About that person.
You're dealing with VD on different afterlives as well.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So now when because you guys, did you guys meet? You're going to be part of this, Jeff, whether you like it or not. Because you were born in Ottawa. Mm-hmm. Did you guys meet in Ottawa?
Yeah.
Oh my God, high school.
Yeah.
Where'd you go to high school?
12.
Where did we go to high school? We met at Confederation
Oh my gosh.
High School, which is no longer a thing.
Yeah, pretty much no longer a thing.
Yeah.
They burnt it down after you guys were there.
Pretty much.
That's it.
Yeah.
Or you burnt it down.
We did do some stuff in the chemistry class
Right.
that needed to be wiped out.
Okay, good. Good to know where to avoid. My father's a chemistry professor, so I get it.
Yeah.
Because your dad's like an engineer, so we were brought up in the science world, right?
Oh my God, you have a good memory. Yeah.
No, I read things.
You read about my dad somewhere?
Yeah, I just do a little research. That's what my job is when I do these.
My dad's information is...
No, you were talking about your dad. So your dad's in engineering, your mom's French Canadian, right?
Yeah.
Right?
That's her job. Yeah.
She's a professional French Canadian.
Yeah.
Mais oui. But growing up with a scientist, what was that like for you? 'Cause I know it was like for me.
Just all the... It's just very black and white, you know? Like, it's very, like, you either got an A or you got an F.
Right.
You know,
right.
the B isn't a thing.
Right.
And just a lot of, like... Should we tell
What?
people what that noise is?
Oh, well, I think they can gather.
Okay.
It's not Jeff. It's not me. But it's lunchtime. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, there you go. Well said. Yeah, and a lot of, like, we would go shopping for shoes. His job entails quality control. Mm-hmm. So we would go shopping for shoes, and it would take 2 hours on one pair of shoes because it was like, how long are these stitches going to last?
Yeah.
And are these double stitched? And then the person who was 16 selling the shoes was like, I don't give a shit. Buy the shoes or get
Or
out.
don't. Yeah. It's almost like shopping, when I shop with my dad, is like shopping with a teenager.
Oh, God.
When he's like, I don't need anything. Like,
Yes!
He's so practical. I don't need any shorts. I like pockets.
Does your dad brag about how old his t-shirts are?
He brags about it, but he also, you don't need to say anything, because we see how old those t-shirts are.
Yes!
Right? Like, he I'm going to out this guy, but it's not like, this wasn't public anyway, but he said the other day he was walking around and something hit his ankles, and he realized his underwear had fallen through his shorts, and the elastic was so gone. You know, like when his socks wear out on the bottom, he just flips them around. Right?
Where was this? Like, where did that happen?
Well, he lives in Kingston because he's at Queens, so he's still like, you know, he's 80, but he's still he loves his work, he loves his job, right? So but did your family ever want you not to go into acting? Because that's not. Oh yeah.
Yeah, wasn't that everyone?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, my folks just wanted me to be happy, and as soon as I had a contract with CBC on any level, they were like, "Oh, you'll be fine."
Yeah. But you're such a doer. I think my parents were like, "You don't do any like." You just wait for... You can't just, like, wait for the movie
Right?
to call you.
But it worked. Like, you had work,
Yeah.
like, based on your resume. Like, it seemed like you were consistently working.
No, the way that happens is, like, you do a couple things and then somehow they spread it out on IMDb so it looks...
They don't see that gap of, like, 4 years where you're like...
Or you're at American Eagle crying on your way to work.
Did you work at American Eagle?
For 5 minutes, and I didn't get fired, but I did not make it past the probationary period.
What gave you the inclination to work at American Eagle? Just that you like those clothes?
I think I just gave my resume and they said yes.
Oh, right.
No, it was just desperation.
So what year was that? Because it feels
I
like...
don't know.
So did you go to...
2006.
Oh, God.
Thanks, fact checker.
We moved here.
Oh,
It
right.
scares me how
starting
your
out.
mind works. That's why I can never have a real job. I cannot... how did he do that?
Sorry, you were just going to say I can't remember things? So, as an actor, you have to remember...
That's why
lines.
you just ad-lib everything.
You don't.
That's why you improv it.
So, the Wynonna Earp character is fantastic,
Oh, thanks.
right? Like, what a great opportunity. I have so many questions about that world, and I also have questions about your up-and-coming world. But going back to Wynonna Earp, it's such a detailed and everything character. Like, you get to be sensitive and funny and flawed and everything.
Yeah.
Did that overwhelm you, or did you just celebrate it?
Definitely didn't overwhelm me because I don't think I could have played her any other way.
Yeah.
Because
I don't think anybody else could have played her. Like, when I see you and how you are, like, you're such a real person, and it comes across in the character.
Oh, good. Thank you. No, for me it was like, that's why I didn't think I would get it, was because I assumed that they would want whatever, two-dimensional idea of a superhero is.
Yeah.
And I thought that's what they would want. And I was like, oh, that's too bad.
Yeah,
I don't
like
know how to
little
do
crop
that.
tops.
Yes.
And like, yeah.
And I don't know how to do that, unfortunately, and or fortunately, depending how you look at it. And so I sort of celebrated it. Yeah, I just sort of went into the audition and was like, well, this is how, if you go with me, this is what you're getting. And, to my eternal shock, nobody once, I never got a note. Not one. I never got a note.
What do you mean, like, in your audition process or in...
In the audition process, from the network, I never got a note.
Wow.
It still blows my mind.
That just means that it's right.
Yeah, and that's the thing, I never was scared of getting fired, really.
Yeah.
Which is a nice, because it actually happens all the time.
All the time.
So, and there's so many cooks in the kitchen at that level, of the production that somebody's bound to have a note and not like you. And if there were any, they didn't get all the way to me.
Right. Right. Yeah. So, have you ever been fired from a job? I got fired from a voiceover once.
What? You got fired?
Yeah.
That makes me feel so good.
Yeah. But it was like, I was doing what I was doing, and then they were like, "It's not working out." I'm like, "It is not." This is causing everybody grief.
Isn't
Let's
it
just
a
call it a
blessing?
day.
You know what
it's
I mean?
not like this is something. Luckily it wasn't. Something like a big role in a show or something like that. That would have broken my heart. But this was like coats.
Yeah.
Like doing a voice thing.
I don't know if I've been fired from American Eagle. Was I fired? Jeffy?
I don't think
Fact
so.
checker? No.
Fact checker?
Well, he's gonna say no because he's so sweet.
Written, cut drastically.
All right.
Remember how she was like, "That's so sweet," and then
You're right, and you suck.
do not talk about that.
Do you need to go?
No, it's fine.
Right. I remember that. I don't want to say what it was on because then the people might feel bad if they have a heart. But oh my god, it was hilarious. Like, I was in scenes where they were literally looking at me. There were 3 of us. They're clearly looking at me.
Yeah.
And they cut me out of the scene. I didn't even know that was possible.
Yeah, I mean, that might not have been you. That might have just been like editing needs or something too. I don't know. We'll find out what the show is later.
No,
but who cares? Look where you are now.
Yeah, that thing did pretty well.
Do you believe that, though? Do you believe, like, that things happen for a reason, and that, like, that was a important lesson for you to learn so that you can be who you are today?
No, I didn't learn anything. I thought it was good. It was really good. It just effed me up. But I do think, I could see why. I knew why they did it.
Yeah.
You know, it was to serve the story, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
But I felt pretty...
Yeah, that never feels good.
No.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Was there a time, like, so when did you know you wanted to be an actor?
Well, okay, so I studied business in university.
Right.
And I had been acting.
In Ottawa? Did you stay in Ottawa?
No, in Toronto.
Toronto.
Because to please my parents, because they didn't want
Right.
Right. So I studied business to have a backup or whatever. And I went for my first job interview with Enterprise Car Rental.
Oh my God. That's
Yeah.
so sad. And you were there for it all, Jeff.
I drove him to it, yeah.
Oh.
It was the most... I think I cried when I left. Because I if I didn't outwardly, I cried inside. Because it was just like... the most... Like, the offices were... No offense to Enterprise
No, they're lovely
employees.
people, and it's a nice business, but it's not
like-
a place for everybody.
No, I was like, I would not be fulfilled here.
Right.
And I just remember being like, this is the moment where I'm going to either not do it or I'm going to commit 110% and I'll starve if I have to.
Yeah.
But that's the way it's going to go.
Yeah.
I can't. And so that was the moment I knew.
I'm worried about his face on your necklace.
It's a valid concern.
Okay.
I'm a good parent.
I'm gonna tuck
What
your
do you
necklace
mean
into
I'm
your
a bad
shirt.
parent?
He was just like, no, it's not your fault. It's the kid's fault. He was rubbing his face. There we go. What a little bean.
I've had other gaffes. What are the other bad parenting moves? If they're
He
really
doesn't
bad, don't
remember.
tell them. There's so many.
But you guys, you have two as well. So how's
Yeah.
that juggling life like? With like you've been in so many different series too to juggle babies and life.
It's actually worked out really well so far, but now I'm wondering how for the next month, because I go back to Letterkenny
yeah
and
yeah.
He's eating my hand, and then I do Comic-Con, and
Right.
I literally didn't sleep last night because I had a full-on panic. I was like,
Yeah.
how, but actually how, and how is my marriage going to survive this? Like,
Well, that's the part that I would like, because everything else is up to somebody else to organize.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you're only one person, right? But then at the end of the day, like, how do you stay in a family and also do all these things that are like really cool?
yeah.
Right? Like Letterkenny must be fun to do.
It's really fun, and it's
Yeah.
fast and furious, which is great
Yeah.
because I don't have to move to Sudbury.
Right.
Yeah, I still don't really have the answers to that. I'm very, like, it's hard. It's hard for the other person because I'm the one going on the adventure, and then Jeff is the one who's like, all right, give me the
Give me the kid.
give me the kids. I'll
How's
do this.
breastfeeding going for you, Jeff?
Very well.
How was your first Comic-Con? Was that your first
Yeah.
foray into that world?
Yes.
What was that like? Because Wynonna Earp feels like it tipped your life.
Yeah.
Did it?
Yeah, definitely.
Because all the other things, like you have a great resume, like
Yeah.
being Erica and listener and I don't know, or like even like pure ownage, like they have really fun series.
Yeah.
But this feels like it went up to 11.
Well, because genre has such an avid fan base.
Yeah.
It's like nothing. It's like other shows big shows that I've done. I watched online to see what the Twitter world was like with that.
Yeah.
And it's nothing compared to the genre.
No.
You get the most loyal fan base, which is just, and then they really seem to follow the people that they like. So
Right.
it's a nice family atmosphere sort
Yeah.
of thing, and it's been really positive. But yeah, it's just you don't get it until you've stepped into those shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it all like a family atmosphere? Like it feels like you're super supported online.
Yeah.
It feels like all your fans are like, you can do no wrong.
Yeah.
It
It feels like that.
Oh,
yeah. And then I'm like, you're right. And then I'm like, no, wait. No, wait. I sucked in that scene. No, it really is. There was one person who said negative things, and I'll tell you what they said about me. They said her face is asymmetrical.
How dare they?
And I don't understand how she is on TV. And I'm like, that is creative. Like, points for... They could have just called me, like, fat.
Yeah.
Or, you know, like, she's ugly. Or,
Yeah,
but
asymmetrical.
they went points for details. It's all in the details.
But also, you're not going to lose sleep over that one.
It was, no.
It's a more fun. Like, somebody said that my voice made them want to punch themselves in their face. And I'm like, feel free.
Yeah.
It doesn't affect me.
Yeah.
But that's amazing. And what about, your personal life? Like, are you maintaining some semblance of balance with this new world of Wynonna Earp?
Oh my God, yeah.
Is it okay?
Oh my God. I wish I could be like, every moment is filled, and I'm going to these parties, and I'm like calling my agent, being like, did I get invited to this thing? And he's like, no, should I look into it? And I'm like, ah.
Do you want to get invited to those things? Because I don't think you are as, publicity heavy as somebody else in with your, which is kind of nice. Like, it feels like you're, I don't know, it's not all razzmatazz.
Well, I think it's like, might as well select what you, you know, I don't want to do everything, because then I just feel like I say the same things over and over again.
Yeah.
So then I just feel bad for giving interviews at that point. So it's like, I'd rather just be a bit more selective and,
pass off.
pass off. This is good for your,
buddy.
for your chest. Here.
Buddy buds.
Thank you.
Do you feel like pressure from holding a show, like being the lead in a show? It doesn't seem like it's phased you. It seems like you treat doing like a short film or a feature film and this kind of show equally the same.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Now, what is the alternative? Like, what could I have?
I don't know.
What does it look like
change
if
your
somebody's
life?
phased?
Did you change your life to do Wynonna Earp?
Yeah.
In what way?
I mean, the self-confidence I got from it is incredible, just because the trust that people put in me, and I say this without, it's not a word of an exaggeration. I've never worked with better people.
Right.
From, the network to the comic book company to the showrunner to it just, you would not believe, just down to their reaction when they found out I was pregnant.
Yeah.
That's the sort of litmus test.
For sure.
And they killed it.
Yeah.
So...
Were you so nervous telling them?
I was sobbing.
Yeah.
I was so scared. I was like, we're gonna lose season 2, and people are gonna get fired. Or I don't know, people are gonna be without a job because of me.
Yeah, because you must feel responsible for that in this whole show.
Yeah. And so I was terrified. And to everybody's credit, it was an issue in the sense of they were worried too. Like, when I told Emily, she was like, okay, let's not tell anybody until I figure out how to handle this. And of course she had to tell people, and when she told IDW, our comic book company, she was like, okay, so we might lose this. And she told them, and the president, Ted Adams, was the first one to say something, and he was like, that's awesome. This is groundbreaking. Let's do it.
Amazing.
And I have goosebumps every time I say it. And then she had to tell Sci-Fi, and she told them before New York Comic Con, and we were like, oh, this is gonna suck if we have to announce that we no longer have a season 2. And she told them, and apparently, according to Emily, when she told them, she's like, I have to talk to you guys about Melanie, and apparently their faces dropped, and she's like, she's pregnant, and they're like, oh my God. Phew. I thought you were going to say she was injured or she didn't want to come back or something. So they're like, yeah, do it. So she pitched her idea for the season, and they were like...
With a storyline and stuff like that? Yeah.
And they were like, do it.
Amazing.
It's just...
That makes me almost weep with the idea that there's something going on that's right with the treatment of women.
And can I tell you, all of these people that okayed it, all men.
Right.
All of them.
Yeah.
So, except for Emily, obviously. And so, it just really, I felt empowered, and I just felt like my faith in this industry was restored, and the people, and like there are such good people, and yeah, there are people who, you know, will want you to lose weight or abort a baby.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean? Like,
I'm sure.
I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure there's those stories.
I was so scared. My big fear was that they were going to be like, we need you to, like, if you're going to...
They could never do that.
I don't know. It's the world is crazy
that
sometimes.
I would be like, I would go from the... You can eat crackers. I would go from that meeting to, like, the top newspaper and tell them what had just happened.
Well, but then here's the thing. If something shady like that happens, I know, yes, morally, yes, you should do that. Mm-hmm. But the person inside me who is scared I'll never work again is going, I can't handle, like, I can't tell anybody how bad that was because then they'll never hire me again. Mm-hmm. Which is like, but I don't want to work for them anyway. I know. I know what your face is telling me.
No, and I know what you're saying. I know what our faces are saying to each other right now.
Yeah. But it's like, so all that to say,
you didn't have to, you didn't have that nightmare. That's an incredible story, and it is really like uplifting to think that people are thinking that way now. Yeah. Do you feel like can you see a change in how women are represented on screen based on the feedback from Wynonna?
I think from what I've seen, it just feels like people think it's about damn time.
Right.
And it's just this like relief that we don't have to be so whatever perfect means.
Right.
You know, it's just like
or that women like I think men were allowed to be lacking in perfection. Yes. But I think women were like, a woman would never raise her voice.
That's right.
Yeah.
Even just on Designated Survivor, initially I think the character that I played was gonna sort of choose the guy over her job. Mm-hmm. And then they changed it, and Cal Penn, who played my potential love interest, we were both just so relieved because they changed it so that she chooses her job. Right. She's like, no, like I have to do, you know, she hasn't been fighting for her career all these years just to be like, oh, I like you. Okay.
Yeah. I'll forget everything I worked for.
Yeah. And I think,
and yet that's okay too. Like, I feel like there's the balance of like when women choose the relationship over the job, there's a lot of feministic people that go, how dare you? Feministic people. You know, that are like, how dare you choose the man that's so anti-women's lib? Yeah. But what if it's for love? You know what I mean? Like, maybe that's okay too.
Which is totally fair. I think in this scenario, it clearly wasn't for, like, it would have been too much of a it was like, that would have been the example of like a woman sort of just being perfect in the eyes of the man, I guess. Yeah. So it's I'm starting to see like this nice shift in these characters, and playing Wynonna is definitely, I never have to worry about like is she likable if she reacts this way?
That's awesome.
Because who cares? Because that's not her place.
Did you ever care? Like, it feels like you are just so yourself. Oh, and I talk a lot about this in these podcasts of people going, oh my God, as soon as you can figure out who you are, just be you. Yeah. But did you ever like have that?
Yeah, definitely. I was very aware of like what would the audience think, only because I heard other actors say it. Right. They're like, the audience is going to hate me after this. And I'm like, I had never thought of that. Right. This is actually around the time of The Listener where I was like, am I going to be likable? And you know, and so then when Wynonna came, I was like, I literally, it doesn't matter. Because that's the point of her. Yeah. Is that she just is not going to do everything the way she should, maybe.
And so relatable, right? Like you're getting so like young girls too seeing this character going, oh, she's flawed and that's okay. Have you had like do you have any great stories of feedback you've had from fans or connections to that way?
I did at WonderCon, which is our first con. I don't even think the show had aired yet, and we did an interview there, and there was a table. We do interviews at round tables, and there was one of the journalists there was a teenage girl, and I think it was her and her sister. And so I guess they had asked me a question, and I had said, you know, that I told this one story about how I was in school, and there was a guy who said that I'd be prettier if I didn't joke around so much. And that shut me down. Like, I stopped joking around for years.
Who was that guy?
Oh,
I don't like him. What's his first name so I never name a child or...
Don't name somebody Michael.
There's some good Michaels in the world.
I know, it's such a broad blanket. But anyway, and he didn't even mean it. He was trying to help me in his weird way.
Yeah.
But in that weird high school way of like, hey, I can get you more boys if you, you know what I mean? So weird.
I know a guy.
Yeah. So anyway, I told that story because as it related to Wynonna, who just uses her sense of humor and doesn't go for the traditional path of sexiness. And
and remains pretty.
And people online just retweeted that and just really latched onto that story of being able to relate to that. And that meant a lot to be like, oh my God, I wasn't the only one who had that. And so feeling like people are opening up because they're seeing that they can be those two things.
Right. Who taught you that other than this? Like, did you have anybody in your life growing up that was like a role model in the she can be pretty and jokey? Or heroes that you grew up watching?
I only really started getting obsessed with like comedy in general. I mean, I always watched it, but I feel like growing up I watched a lot of comedy there were just a lot of, I don't remember a single female comedian.
Right.
Until Ellen, but like I just watched a lot of male comedians. And so, it was really only when I started watching like Kristen Wiig. She was a huge, because I think she's so beautiful, but I also think she's not afraid to use her face. That's the first person. I'm sure there was somebody before her, but she was definitely the one that made me go, fuck it. Like, I don't care anymore what you think because somebody else is always going to be prettier. And why do I care? It's like, there was an acting teacher in town who shall remain nameless, but it's like all about use your prettiness and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, okay, I guess that's what I have to do. Yeah. And sometimes it is. Like, sometimes that's what's going to cast you, unfortunately. But do you really want to work on that stuff? I
mean, as you said, like, you kind of just bring who you are and go, this is, if you want Wynonna to be this is what you get. Yeah,
because I'm committing to, I don't know how to play it another way. Or even if I do know, I don't, like, I got to a point where I was like, wow, I would have to play that every day. Yeah. That way. Yeah. So I'll show you how I would want to play it every day. And if you'd want to see that every day, then let me know. And if not, then...
What's hard for you in this series? Like, you're training, you're doing all your... Like, do you do all your own stunts? Do you have any...
I have an amazing stunt double. But
I saw you doing a clip when you're lying down, you do the flip when you stand up.
Oh,
can you do
that? No, I can't do that.
That's my stunt double. It looks You could lie to me right now. It looks
I did
like you.
that.
It's too late. I've got it on tape. But like, what's difficult when you go to set? You're like, okay, this is going to be a challenging day.
You know what? Whenever we have to do, if we have to do any combination of stunts and special effects, which is always, that's a long day.
Yeah.
Like one scene will take, 8 hours, and you're just over it.
Yeah.
And I do all the stunts and the fight scenes, and then my stunt double does them so that they can sort of intercut. And if I didn't fail miserably at something, they'll just use me. Why not?
Great.
And so it's not like I can just really take the day off because my stunt double's doing it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So then it's just a really long day.
Yeah. Were you ready when, like sometimes they talk about, like, they're ready to hold a show or they're ready to be a lead in a show. Were you ready when you got that?
I was ready in the sense of, what does that even mean? Like, I don't know what it looks like. So yeah, I'm ready. Right on. I think I was because it was Wynonna. Honestly, if it was something that I didn't feel as confident about, no, I don't know.
Yeah.
I would have, yeah.
And then, so now with the, like, as you said, I imagine that you're shooting Wynonna every day.
Right.
Right? Because it's such a detailed show, too. I mean, it is a long shoot. How long do you guys shoot in Calgary for?
5 months.
Yeah. And does Jeff and the family go with you, or how does that work?
No, they stay.
They stay, and you go back and forth.
Yeah.
That's tiresome.
Actually, I didn't really go back and forth. They come.
They come back and forth.
Yeah.
Wow. How do you find that balance in, like, relationship stuff?
Yeah, it's really hard.
Yeah.
It's I'm the one on the adventure, right? So I'm working every day.
Right.
When we're shooting, I am there every day. And so even when they come to town, and then I have lines to learn. Like, I never stop working.
Yeah.
Which I love because it doesn't feel like work most of the time. And then Jeff has to be the one to
do everything else.
Yeah. And sort of he's not, like, he hears about everything that goes on, but he's not there, so that it's like my conversations with somebody I just met 2 weeks ago are so much more involved because we're living the same life in that moment.
Yeah.
I think, I definitely think it's hard for him. It's hard for me seeing that it's hard for him. Right. That's the hardest part for me.
Yeah.
But, he's my
What's your other son's name?
Harry.
Harry. And so is that challenging too? Because he's sort of in the age now that he's like, why aren't you here? Does he give you grief?
No.
So long, sucker.
Here's the other hard thing for Jeff is that then when I come home, it's like, woo!
Yeah.
And then Jeff goes, remember you needed me?
Yeah.
And now you don't need me anymore? And I'm like the star
Good
of
time gal.
Yeah. I'm the star of a TV show, and then I come home and I'm the star of the house.
Yeah.
Like, that sucks for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it only lasts like 2 weeks.
And then they get tired of you and go back to Jeff. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Do you have other things that you want to do? Like, it feels like this is such a pinnacle.
Okay, so because you're such a, like, idol, actually,
That's
of mine.
ridiculous.
So, like, I'm almost embarrassed to tell you this. But I totally, because they asked me to write the comic books.
Right, yeah.
And so I wrote, and
had you written before that?
I've always written.
Okay.
In my
life.
life.
That's something that you have muscle doing. What is that like?
Like the tiniest muscle. It's like the high school boy before puberty muscle.
Right. Okay.
Right.
But like short stories. What did you write before?
I wrote screenplays.
Yeah.
Since I was little, and
no
I wrote,
kidding.
Yeah, poetry. But like funny poetry.
I would like to star in a movie that you wrote when you were little.
It's based on Notre Dame de Paris. You would be playing Esmeralda.
I'm up for it.
And you need to dye your hair black.
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I can do it. So when they asked you to do these comic books, was like, okay, this is something I've always wanted.
They set it up in such a way that it was like Bo Smith, the creator, was such a kind, generous soul. You feel like you can do no wrong with him. So that when he asks you, he's like, I will be your parachute. Like, I just jump.
That's a great thing to say. Yeah.
And so he's like, I'll catch you. Just fall, sort of thing. And so I was like, oh, how do you say no to that?
Yeah.
You know? And worst case, if it was bad, what I wrote, they just won't print it.
Or they'll work on it.
Yeah.
It's not like you're going to write it and be like, send that to print before anybody sees it.
But you know, it's funny. They
didn't change anything.
They didn't change anything.
They looked at it, though. They
looked at it. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
But so
that's amazing.
That gave me a huge confidence boost. And then it just reignited. I was like, oh yeah, I love to write.
Yeah.
I forgot that because I got so busy doing other things.
Yeah.
And focusing on other things, and it's just such a great muscle to develop.
Yeah, so important. So that's what your next thing is, like writing more?
Yeah.
What do you have in the crock pot?
Well,
the writing crock pot.
They had asked. We were going to do a side project beside the comics books. We were going to do something else that ended up getting scrapped, at least for now. So I'm going to finish that because they might rehash that.
Right.
So right now it's just in a short story form, and I don't know where that's going to go. But
okay.
Yeah.
A lot of secrecy, hey, over Wynonna? There's a lot of things like, what can you say? What can't you say?
Oh my God.
So people are like hanging on every episode.
I can't wait to be able to say everything freely, just because I'm always like, wait, was I supposed to?
Yeah, especially with the story arc of her being pregnant and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So now, with your family and your life, do you feel like you're set? Like sometimes, like I look at your career, and I'm like, you're set, you're good.
That's so funny. I think about that all the time because I'm constantly scared that I'll never work again.
I know. It's crazy.
What is wrong with us?
I know, but you know what? I bet, I bet Kristen Wiig has that same feeling.
No, because she's really cool.
No, she's super cool, and she's in like Joshua Tree, just really.
But here's the thing about her, and you remind me of her. That's why I think you're gonna be fine. Is because she doesn't just do one thing, right? Like she can write, and she's produced. Like she's interested in a lot of things.
Yeah.
And I think
that's you too. You're writing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now.
Right.
So yeah, but it's also just for your sanity. I think you need more than just, because with acting, it's literally I can only do it when somebody tells me I can.
Right.
I can write anything, anytime.
Right.
I mean, I can act in my living room, but it's really hard to do that by yourself.
Yeah.
You know?
And the audience of 3.
Yeah. And they're harsh critics.
Yeah, right. One guy's throwing up all the time.
Yeah.
Burping.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. Like, I mean, whenever I talk to people about what, this business, I'm always like, start owning your creativity so that you're not waiting for anybody else. Like, you could write your own movie and star in it.
Yeah.
It's going to take a hell of a lot more work than just auditioning.
But it's also just teaches you so much.
Mm-hmm.
And if I were to direct, then it's another way of seeing, because I love acting. I would never want to stop, but I love that writing, maybe directing, even producing, like they all make you look at acting from another lens, and which excites me, because that's my first love.
What, directing?
Acting.
Oh, acting. Oh, yeah. It's like, how did that come around to that? I think you'd be a great director with that kind of perspective. And we need that, right? There's such a shortage of female directors.
Yeah.
I mean, there was, there is the feeling that you don't want to call people female directors as well. Right. Just call them directors.
Right.
Which I totally support as well. But I think having more of female voices will just balance everything out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some of my favorites, I mean, because you get such a different perspective in the way they approach you as an actor.
Yeah.
That it's such a nice, I don't think every director should be female. I don't think every director should be male. Like, you need a balance.
Yeah.
And it's just such a nice, we had April Mullen direct one of our episodes this season, and
you've worked with a lot of female directors.
Yeah.
The Wolves movie, wasn't she female, Jordan?
No. Oh, Wolves.
Yeah.
We were Wolves.
We were Wolves, yeah.
Because Wolves, I did Wolves as well.
You only do Wolves type of movies. We were Wolves.
But, yes, Jordan, she's beautiful director.
Yeah.
But
who's the gal that you're working on with Wynonna though? The female director?
April Mullen, and she just, it was the way we talked, especially because we did the scenes where Wynonna finds out she's pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
So it was really nice to be able to talk to her and go, I don't think she cries here. It's scripted that she cries. I don't think she cries here. And she's like, yeah, I don't think so either, because when I, you know, had this happen, because, you know, especially in this type of story, it was nice to be able to go, yeah, you didn't cry either.
Yeah.
Or, you know, you were shocked. You can relate in a way that it is just different than with a man who's never maybe had a baby.
Yeah, but I don't think that's a maybe. I think that's for sure. I mean, I can check my fact checker. But did you always want to be an actor?
Yeah.
And you just did diversions to Enterprise and then
America. Well,
Legal.
You know, in Ottawa, you don't think of it as a thing.
No.
So I didn't know it was a thing until somebody was like, you should be an actor.
Yeah.
And they made it happen for me. That's what I mean when
what
I
do you
say...
mean? Oh, because you were modeling and then they went, why didn't you try acting?
Yeah, because they also represented actors and they're like, you have a personality. Maybe use it.
Why, thank you. Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's a thing you can do? Because I had always just been, you know, it was I just always loved telling stories. So I wrote music and I wrote short stories and I acted in the sense of like something would happen on TV and then I would act it out or something. I
love that. Do you remember the TV show?
Like just talk shows where they would be like, he's not your father, and then I would be like, oh my god.
Like Jerry Springer or something?
Something. You know, like where...
I thought you were going to say, like, a soap opera or maybe, like, a movie. No.
I mean, those two, but I vividly remember going, like, I would see somebody, like, a survival story.
Yeah.
On, I don't know, whatever my mom was watching. And then on Oprah, and then I'd be like, I am not a victim, I'm a survivor. And I would, like, do a whole stupid scene around it.
I love that.
And, but, you know, it was just, like, I just had, like, a craving to tell stories.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah.
And so, but when I was 13, I did not know that you could be an actor.
Right. Well, Ottawa's not, like, a happening city for acting. Like, they have the NEC and they have great theater, but it's not like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was never really drawn to the stage because I was never really exposed to it.
Yeah.
So, apparently there was really good improv happening
in Ottawa,
like in the high schools.
Oh yeah, like what's it called? Like the high school
games.
Yeah, improv games
or something. Yeah, but I just didn't have the confidence to even, and I didn't know what it was.
Right. Yeah.
So that's a shame. Had I known, I totally would have.
I bet you could still do improv now.
I do improv now.
Do you?
Yeah.
Where do you get?
Well, you told me to go see
Kate Ashby. Nice.
And I love it.
I'm so happy.
Yeah, and because what I love about her is that she's so nurturing.
Oh,
and
she's lovely.
Yeah, and it's not like, I don't know, beating you down to build you up.
No. Yeah, it's just about finding the thing that's making you feel good and pursuing that. Yeah.
But she also doesn't like. You know, if
she doesn't
something's
coddle.
if something's not grounded, she'll tell you, but she doesn't make you feel like she doesn't destroy your soul.
Yeah.
In the way that she tells you.
I'm so glad you're doing that. That's so great.
I am not doing it right now, but I've been doing it for a while. Yeah.
Do you think that helped you in your roles, like your Wynonna stuff? Because it feels like you're right on your toes with that work.
I feel like.
Do you know what I mean when I say on your toes? Like you're sort of like poised and hearing and reacting to the best of your...
You know what I think it did was I think I always had the instinct to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But what Kate, working with Kate did was just make me trust what was already there.
Yeah. Because it's a muscle.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just have to exercise.
Yeah, and it was like a confidence that I was lacking. It wasn't like the ability. It was just the balls to try something and maybe fail. Yeah. Which I love. I love that feeling now.
Are you scared of anything right now? Since you're doing that?
Not working again.
So how does that, like, where do you put that kind of stuff? Like, and you're not the only person. When we talk, and when I do these podcasts, I interviewed Carla Gallo, who's on Bones, and Bones is done now, but she's like fantastic. She's on Undeclared, and she's like, I have the same thing.
Yeah.
She just had a baby too.
Oh.
But like, why? I mean, it's not a gender specific feeling.
No.
But where do you put that, and how do you? Because that doesn't help in auditions to go, oh my God, I'm so scared that this is the last time anybody sees me, because nobody wants to see fear.
I think I just sort of, I know I can sort of intellectualize and go like this, I know what this is.
Right.
I know that we all do this. And then I just, I objectively know that I will probably work again. It might not be my favorite thing that I ever do, but like I might be able to pay a bill again in my life.
Yeah.
And so then I just sort of, it's just that thing of always trying to be better.
Yeah.
You know, and that's all I can do. So that's why I think it's important to create your own. Like, I remember a while ago, I wasn't working and I just did community theater.
Yeah, great.
You know, and it
Where'd
was
you
like
do that?
in Scarborough.
Yeah.
Because
What was the play?
Amadeus.
Nice.
Yeah, and it was my favorite play. I was like, I want to be in this. The only way I'll ever get cast is probably in community, and I did, and it was just such it made me feel busy, so it made my confidence go up.
I always think that's the worst thing to do, is just like, well, I'm not working, so I'm going to stop everything else. Like, I'm going to watch a lot of Netflix and eat.
Well, and you know what I also think is a lot of people, I don't know if this is the right answer, but for me, the way I wouldn't deal with it is to go like, oh, well, I'm not going to go in for this. It's like, I should be better. I'm better than that. And it's like, well, you're probably right. But if you're not working and people aren't seeing what you can do, like, and it's affecting your confidence, I don't know. Maybe you're not better than that. Maybe you just need to go do it.
Yeah. I mean, you talk a lot about confidence, things that build your confidence, things that break it. Like, how do you build your confidence when you're not working?
Yeah, I try to, I don't know, for me, I really like classes.
Yeah. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, but not even necessarily acting classes. Like, I took a writing class.
Yeah, great.
You know, I did a Second City writing class that I will never probably use because I have no interest in doing a one-man show.
Or one-woman show either.
Or a one-woman show either. But that feeling of being busy, you don't have time to think, oh, I suck, or you just don't. Take away the time to ruminate, and you're doing yourself a lot of favors. Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. I think that's a really key thing, is keeping busy and not letting all your muscles get atrophied. Yeah. But if you're taking classes, or you're doing an improv, or you go and do Amadeus, like you're ready for when something comes your way.
Yeah, I have one friend who was on a hit show, like hit show, and she, in the name of keeping busy, after it was over, she took an astrophysics class.
What?
And she's
Can you tell me who this friend is?
It's Charlotte Sullivan.
That's incredible.
Yeah. But she was like, I don't know, I just was curious.
Just curious.
Yeah, and I think
Curiosity?
she did cello.
What?
Yeah, and she doesn't play the cello, but she just wanted to do other things and be a full human being.
Yeah.
And maybe that's my better answer, is like between when I feel like, what am I ever going to work again? It's like, well, make yourself a fuller human being.
Yeah, get curious.
Yeah, because if you're always just, the actors who only ever talk about acting, I think are the ones that maybe are in more danger, because you're not playing actors on TV, you're playing real people.
Right.
And if you're not living real people life, what do you have to offer?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and also, like, recharging, like, watching people, too. Like, if you're just living in your pod of just waiting for work to come your way, then you're not experiencing life and seeing people and seeing how people interact with each other. And, yeah.
And I also think there's value in the torture of not working. Like, you know,
in what way?
I think anything that makes you feel is valuable.
Yeah.
I was talking to, speaking of great directors who happen to be female, Jennifer Lynch. She was unbelievable, and we were talking about actually because I had just booked Wynonna when I was doing Damien and working with her, and she was a single mother, and I'm not a single mother, and I was like, I don't even know how I'm going to do it. Mm-hmm. How did you do it? And she was like, yeah, it was really hard. And then she talked about her daughter, and the separation and how that like destroyed her a bit every time. And then she's like, but you know what? It was a gift because now I know what it feels like to feel that pain, and I can use that, you know? And, so, you know, it's painful feeling like you'll never work again. It's painful feeling like you're the second best to other people, but you can do something with that. That's positive, you know.
That's a great thing.
Yeah.
I love that lesson. Mm-hmm. I'm going to put that one in my pocket. Who were your cheerleaders? Like,
Jeff.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
What kind of work does he do?
He's a steam fitter and a welder. And the thing about Jeff is, like, I always cry talking about him. But he's just so, like, he's just so supportive. It's unbelievable. So, you know, we talked about how parents maybe, you know, they want what's best for you, but they might not want you. Like, I certainly don't think my parents ever wanted me to do this. I don't really feel like I can talk to them about it because, you know, if I'm scared I'll never work again, guess what? They're going to, you know,
they're coming from a different place than your husband. They're coming from a different
place. Yeah. And so Jeff is just, even if he's wrong, he always thinks I'm the best person for the role. He always thinks it's bullshit if I didn't get it, but genuinely, like, and, he just believes in me to he believes in me way more than I believe in myself. And it just really gives me the courage to be like, okay, well, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm not total garbage. Like, you know, and the thing is, it would be so easy for him, especially in the beginning when I was struggling, to be like, you know what, just get a real job. Mm-hmm. Just get a real job. It's so much easier. Because if I'm going to share my life with you, I don't want to go through this all the time. Mm-hmm. And yeah, to his credit, like he was just like, okay, you'll get the next one. Like I don't know. He's by far the only cheerleader I would ever need. Like, he does the job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's amazing. Because you sort of we need our cheerleaders. We can't be our own cheerleader all the time.
No. We have to try to be, though.
Yeah.
And I do try to, like, you know, because sometimes, you know, he can't, if I'm shooting in Calgary
yeah,
by myself. So, you know, it is an important muscle to train, but man, you need somebody else too.
Where do you think you get those skills from? Like, I mean, you and Jeff have been together so long, you kind of grew up together.
Yeah.
So do you think you got it from him, or do you have, like, did you have teachers or family members that kind of taught you those lessons?
Of how to be your own cheerleader?
Yeah.
I think I learned a lot from Jeff. He just has such a different way of seeing the world. Mm-hmm. Like, he's very practical, as we've seen in the Will story.
But you need that, right?
No,
you need the yin and
I don't want to be with somebody like me.
No.
I would just be a mess. Nothing would get done. It would be awful. But he needs me to shake things up and be less rigid about things. So it's a great balance. But I think I learned a lot from him. I have a great therapist.
Yeah.
Who...
That's important, though. Like, there was a time somebody said to me, you need, like, a doctor, a dentist, a mechanic, and a therapist.
Amazing.
For, like, when you need to check in. Like, I'm going through this thing, and I need to talk to somebody about it.
And they talk to... This is the way I see it is, first of all, if you're willing to get a personal trainer for your body...
Right.
But not for your brain, like, that makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
And second of all, they talk to so many fucked up people. Like, they're bound to pick up some ideas. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, like, why reinvent the wheel? Just give me the Cliff's, like, the Coles notes of how to, like, life.
Yeah, I think that's great.
How to life.
How do you do life?
How do you life?
Have you been seeing a therapist for a long time?
Yeah. I love her.
It's great, though, right?
Yeah.
I had a therapist for a long time, and then I stopped, like at one point she was like, I think, do you want to see me next week? And I'm like, I don't think I do.
Yeah.
And she's like, good for you. And it's like, great. Like we'd kind of gone through like a bit of a storm, but now I'll go back just to sort of tune up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should exchange names.
Yeah.
Just to like shake it up.
Person. That's right. Yeah. But it's also somebody that knows you too, right?
Yeah.
Like if you've been seeing them for a long time, they go, well, remember in 2009 when you were doing this? I'm like, yes.
Yeah. They just see you with a perspective and like with an unbiased perspective.
Yeah.
That if somebody in my life told me that, I'd be like, up yours.
Yeah,
Like, don't call me out on my patterns.
I love that.
Yeah.
And then from them, you're like, thank you, money well spent.
Yes.
Ching.
Do you feel like a hooker at the end when you have to pay them?
Well, I go to like somebody that's covered.
Oh, stop.
Right? So, but it was actually the only way I could make sense of it for me because financially I was like, I can't.
No, of course, you're an actor.
Figure it out. Even like now I would figure it out, but then I was like, there's no way.
Yeah.
So, and I wouldn't go. Like, I would just keep canceling because it would be too expensive. It's like the same way I treat my hair appointments. I'm like, oh, can I let it go for another 2 months? Yeah. So, but I don't feel like a hooker because it's free.
Oh, you
now we do.
I literally, I'm like, I feel like I'm putting my clothes back on whenever I write a check.
Yeah.
It's so awkward.
It depends also, like, if you're in tears while you're writing the check or not.
I always am in tears when I'm writing the check.
If you weren't before, then you are when you're writing the check.
I feel like if I'm not in tears, we did therapy wrong.
Right? This is what I said to her once. She was like, what do you think therapy is? I said, I think we talk until I cry about something, and then we go into that. And I was like, oh, and she's like, okay, just laugh. But I also think that it is like the only place that somebody is all about you.
Yeah.
Right?
And
like,
you don't have to feel bad about it.
No.
Yeah.
But I do. Like, did you find that hard in therapy to not, to take the attention?
Yeah, and be like, but how about you? How was your weekend?
Yeah.
But she's like, okay, this is a really expensive way to find out.
Right.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
But there is that, it's also what's weird about therapy is I love her so much that there's that line where you're like, oh yeah, we're not friends. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? You have to, like, I constantly have to be like, don't invite her to a thing. Like, that's so weird. But she'd be so fun to go with.
Yeah.
But then I would also be like, can we talk about,
No, I don't think you want to go to functions with your therapist.
No, you haven't met my therapist.
Maybe she's fantastic. No, I remember my gal, she at one point, she told me she got married. And I started crying, going, I can't believe I didn't know that. I'm so sorry. And she's like, that's not your job here. Yeah. And I was like, and I started crying more. Because I was like, what do you mean? But she's so, and there's another time when she, you know, it's a bit of a convoluted story, but Robin Williams had come to Second City and surprised everybody and done the improv set with us. And it was like one of the best things.
I remember when he passed, you posted a nice tribute.
Oh my God, he's an amazing, that just changed my life because he was such a generous performer that night and just watching how he dealt with people. So I told her about it and I said, you know, I think there's rumors that he's coming back because he had so much fun. And I'll call you if he happens to. She's like, that. And you could see like a little like glimmer in her eye. I went, that'd be great. And the next time we saw each other, she went, I just want to start by apologizing to you. And I was like, why? What's going on? She was like, your job isn't to connect with me about anything, and your job is just to focus on yourself. And I'm sorry to have ever taken that. Like, it was such a like foreign thing for me, but it was really.
Did it make you feel like an asshole because somebody was like? I would have been like, I'm such an asshole for making you feel like that.
Oh, no. I took it. Do you feel like an asshole when people apologize?
I still have a lot of work to do in therapy.
Yeah. But that's a lifelong. Do you feel an asshole when somebody apologizes to you?
A little, because I'm like, well, in that scenario, I would have felt bad because I would have been like, oh, did I put you in that position?
Right.
I don't know. It makes no sense.
Yeah, that's complicated. I don't know where that goes.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, if somebody apologizes, I don't think your job is to apologize back to them for their apology. But I think, that'd be a long therapy session just going back and forth like that.
Yeah.
I could talk to you all day. I don't even know how long we've been talking, but I could talk
really
to you. It's lovely.
Could we do it every week?
Yeah, we could.
Okay.
We'd have to call it the Melanie Naomi Show. Naomi. That sounds like melanoma.
Yes.
So, two things. One thing is, what are you like reading or watching TV or movies? Something that's inspiring you these days, so we can add it to our like book list.
Oh, I love that question. I'm listening to S Town.
Love that. Isn't that a beautiful story, though?
It's stunning.
Did you cry?
No,
I cried so much when... Yeah. Did you say I'm a robot?
Yeah, should I have?
No, everything affects...
But my heart stopped.
Yeah.
I literally... I think I was, like, shaking a little.
Yeah.
Because I didn't see it coming.
No, I didn't see it coming at all. Yeah. It's
Oh,
so good.
Yeah, and then there's always that thing where I went online to look up what other people... Like, I wanted to see what people were saying about it. And there's an article about how it... I haven't read it, but I might. But it's about how it was... What's the word? Like, they're using him... What's the word? It starts with an E.
Like the podcast was using him? Exploiting.
Exploiting. It was exploitive.
Oh.
And I was like, was it? Or was it just a beautiful...
I don't know.
Like,
I mean...
look into somebody's...
Life. Like, I mean, he... You know, everybody has their good and bad sides, and I don't know, he wasn't...
I didn't feel like...
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't see that. I thought it was a beautiful look into who
good.
he was, but I also think he was in pain. Like, I think it was sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the ending was fascinating.
Yeah.
That last podcast,
Yeah.
the last episode, I was like, it
Yeah.
just puts a whole new light on the whole thing
Yeah.
that we've been listening to. Oh, it was so well done.
Okay, so S-Town for sure, that's on the list. Anything
Yeah.
else? Books, movies, TV shows?
The Crown is incredible.
Oh, I love it. I love The Crown.
Yeah.
Have you watched all of it?
Yes.
Do you want a spoiler alert? Because I think I know how it... Well, that's... Crown's fantastic. What do you like about The Crown?
She's incredible.
She's
You know what I
incredible.
like a lot is that the Elizabeth,
Yes.
the lead.
Yeah.
I think it would be really hard as an actor to because her sister definitely plays the more vivacious, fun character. I think it would be really difficult to keep playing the more straight laced character.
Yeah, I thought about that watching that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I wonder if in her, when she sees it, she's like, I want to be that, fun and free. Or if she was like, no, I feel really good about how grounded this is.
Yeah.
But
do you find that in Wynonna? Do you feel like...
a little, like when somebody else gets something fun,
Yeah.
I'm like a touch like, oh,
Yeah.
I wanted that.
Yeah.
And then...
And then you get your gun
I get
out,
over it.
and you get to shoot, and you're like, wait a second, I get to do this kind of cool stuff.
Yeah, no, it doesn't last long.
Yeah, I also thought about The Crown when we were talking about taking extra courses, because she brings the tutor in, right?
Stop.
What?
Oh, the actual queen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I really love
love
that, right? Like,
yeah.
And who was I listening to? Oh, no, I can't remember her name. She was on Togetherness. Oh, crap. Anyway, I forgot her name, but she also hired somebody to teach her history.
Like in real life?
Yeah, to come in, and because she was like, I don't know enough about history. I'm going to hire somebody to come in and teach me, and it's going to be great because I don't have to take any exams. I'm just learning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, what's her name? You'll know her.
I need to do that.
Yeah.
I need to do that about something.
Yeah. But it's the same thing. Like, what do you do when you're not working, and how do you keep your muscles living?
Yeah.
Okay, Crown, S-Town, anything else? Any music? Any music that you're...
K-Fly.
K-Fly, all right.
But that's very, like, because when I was writing, it was so Wynonna.
Yeah.
But also just incredible. She's so good.
Yeah.
And books,
How do you have time to read? I get, like, S-Town because you put it in your ear when you're driving, but how do you time...
Oh, you make time to read. Reading's
yeah,
the best.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, yeah. No, but I read like one page every week, but it's,
Keep at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I might have forgotten how to read. That's what I'm worried about. No, I'm going to pick it back up.
You.
Okay, my final question is advice. Like, if anybody wants... It's not even advice in our business. It's advice about life. Like, do you have anything that is like your mantra? I feel like you've said so many great quotes today, but is there anything that you come back to when you're needing it?
Yeah, what is it?
Oh my god. I have to look
Oh
up
my
that
God.
name. You have to look up what you always say to yourself.
Oh, yeah. One thing I always go back to is, the things you fear usually don't happen.
Tell me more about that.
Okay, so I was so scared that we weren't going to get a season 2 for Wynonna. I was so scared that the world was going to fall apart.
Right.
And the opposite happened. It actually they added 2 episodes. So it's like, and okay, to be fair, like, things don't always turn out quite that rosy, but it's very rare that the thing that you're fixated on and really terrified about, like, never working in, it's unlikely.
Yeah.
It's usually the things that you don't see coming that you should be scared of, and you can't be scared of them because you don't see them coming.
Right.
So I actually find that really helpful. Because
Yes.
then the things, it just takes a bit of the pressure off, whatever you're scared of.
Yeah.
Takes the edge off.
Or that you're going to be okay.
It's all going to be okay.
Like you got yourself and you're pretty together. You're a therapist and Jeff and you're great kids. So, like, it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Somebody said, don't stress about something that hasn't happened yet, because then you're going to stress about it twice, before and actually when it happens.
That's sort of exactly, yeah.
It's
not exactly the same thing. But it's
like
a
foreshadowing
great,
fearful things. That's not going to... I'm going to put my energy towards going, it is going to happen. It's going to be fine.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great outlook, too.
Yeah.
I have noticed that, like, just in my life, the things that I've been scared of have never even happened.
Yeah.
Like, I've just started looking at, like, the things I was scared of and going, like, as a scientific sort of, do I have evidence for that? Like, did that happen? And
right.
It didn't.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, whenever I get really scared of something, I'm like, okay, so it might not happen. And then you're worried about it for nothing. So maybe spend your energy doing something else. Mm-hmm. Because imagine worrying about something. And when I worry, it's like a commit.
Yeah.
Like,
you get anxiety?
Yes, bad.
Yeah.
Bad anxiety.
What does that look like for you?
It's a bit debilitating.
Yeah. Is it a breathing thing, or is it like I'm going to stay in bed? Or
yeah, like I feel like I shake a little.
Yeah.
It's definitely a breathing thing, and I definitely avoid.
Yeah.
I'm a big avoider of things.
Yeah. And then how do you get through an anxiety chunk?
Oh, it's usually doing the opposite. Yeah. I just force myself to. It's like, if I don't want to, I don't know. It's like, I'm anxious, so I don't want to go to the gym or whatever. Mm-hmm. But then I'm like, that's exactly the thing I need to do then.
Right. Yeah.
And then that usually helps.
Yeah, I organize like a spice drawer or something like that.
Oh, that's really good.
Because it just makes me fixated on something that I then can see.
Yeah. That result.
Yeah, results, yeah.
That's really good.
The thing is, I think everybody deals with anxiety. We all handle it differently.
Yeah.
But it comes and goes, right?
Yeah.
And then the more that we kind of go, oh, here it comes.
Yeah.
And there it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm always inspired by people who can be productive through it. Mm-hmm. Instead of shut down. Mm-hmm. I'm productive through it if I have to be. Like, if I'm on set and I don't have a choice, I'll get it done. Like, I've never had to call in sick from anxiety.
Yeah.
But
some people have, though. Like, it is so debilitating that they can't. Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas some people are just like, I'm really anxious about doing the good old taxes. So that you just buckle down and do it so they can get rid of it. Mm-hmm. That's like Jeff. Jeff is that. Mm-hmm. And that, I'm like, oh, teach me everything. Yeah. Just teach me.
Yeah. Well, you don't have to. He'll just do it.
I don't want him to know my shit. I don't want him to. Then he'll know how late I was on my...
together?
No.
Are you kidding me?
God, no. Because then he'll know how late I was last year. And he'll be like, there's so much interest. You idiot.
But how do you avoid... Like, don't you share bank accounts and stuff?
Just one.
Oh my gosh. That's so funny that he doesn't know.
He knows, but he's like, all right.
Maybe he's like turning a blind eye.
He's taken to gentle prodding.
Right.
He like passive aggressive notes on like on the table. It's like, did you call the accountant?
Does it say on the note? Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I think you're fantastic. I'm so honored that you would spend some time talking to me on this. Yeah. We should have our own podcast. I always feel like at the end of these, I'm like, let's go have dinner. Like, let's get Jeff and Matt and have dinner sometime.
I'm so grateful I don't have to write you a check right now.
Oh, and by the way, unfortunately, this is the part people don't realize.
I didn't know there would be cheese.
Right? Put some of that in your pocket. Those crackers, they're free. Yeah, that's not going to fit in those leather. What's that lump on your leather pants? I took some cheese.
And it's hot out.
All right. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
You're the best.
You're the best.
And that's Melanie Scrofano. Don't you love her? Don't you just want to get a spoon and eat her up? She's fantastic. Go check her work on Wynonna Earp or Letterkenny. She's just a diverse and amazing actress, and she does everything so beautifully. And I can't wait to see what she does next. Follow her too, at Melanie Scrofano on the old Twitter machine, and see what she's talking about. And while you're there, follow us too, at Firecracker Department, Firecracker DEPT, and tell me what you think. I'm such a huge fan of Melanie's, and I would love to know what she said that really rang true for you, because there were so many things that I thought just were really great nuggets. And I know there's a lot of Wynonna Earp fans out there, and so maybe tell me what you learned about Melanie that you didn't know before. Maybe send some fan art and we'll put it on our website. I'd love to get it to be like a virtual art gallery of all our guests. Don't forget to listen to past episodes too, because there's always something interesting and something inspiring from one of our guests. And put in your calendar, the last Sunday of every month, we're going to do a Facebook live chat. And that's when folks, past Firecracker Department members and guests chime in, and we have a great discussion. It's always inspiring, and there's always great people that chime in. So please join us the last Sunday of every month. Thanks so much for all your support, everyone. It means the world to me. I really, really appreciate it. And go on out there now. Go read a book, see a play, write a song, go out, get inspired or be inspiring, be bold. And we'll see you next time on the Firecracker Department. Bye, everyone.